The President of the United States of America is a pervert. Now, you just don't say something like that without backing it up. Best evidence that exists is something that they call an admission against interest. The youngest daughter, I think her name was Tiffany, and was fantasizing about her breasts when she was an infant. That's just fucking weird, okay? That's pervert shit.
Donna, what does Tiffany have of yours and what does Tiffany have of Marla's?
Well, I think that she's got a lot of Marla. She's really a beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
Then he talked on Howard Stern about having sex with his oldest daughter.
Said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of it.
I have never, ever heard of anybody fantasizing about having sex with their daughter. That you're a pervert.
When James Carville takes aim at Donald Trump, it isn't a debate, it's an obliteration. The master strategist turns Trump's carefully crafted image inside out, exposing a president less defined by power than by ego, less remembered for leadership than for chaos. Carville doesn't just highlight Trump's flaws, he makes them unforgettable, branding him as a rerun no one asked to watch. For a man obsessed with legacy, there is no insult more devastating than being revealed as irrelevant.
Dramatic here, but at 1 o'clock on the 17th of January of 2024, I raised a question and pointed out that they were red splotches on Donald Trump's hands, and that could be professional, a sign of syphilis, a venereal disease, a tertiary syphilis, and which can have profound effects if not treated.
James Carville doesn't just criticize Donald Trump, he dissects him like a seasoned surgeon who's seen this patient before and knows exactly where the rot begins. Trump may still hold the highest office in the land as President of the United States, but to Carville, he's less a commander-in-chief and more a cautionary tale dressed up in red ties and spray tan.
All right, the one thing he has is kind of primitive survival instinct, and he knows he's in trouble. And, you know, when you have health issues, they tend to crop up and you can hide them for so long. And now his whole hands and everything is nothing but makeup, so you can't see all of the splotches. And of course, we've been treated it and trying to hide his ankles.
Okay, here's Queen Elizabeth II's hand a few days before she died. And you can see the close-up, and it has a bruise. And this is, you know, she's up walking around, and a few days later, she's dead.
Fresh photographs of US President Donald Trump with a dark bruise on his right hand have gone viral, fueling renewed speculation about his health. After months of attempting to cover a large dark bruise on his right hand with makeup, the president was seen throughout his various White House engagements on August 25th, with the bruise unconcealed.
From the very start, Carville tears into Trump's obsession with image. For a man who constantly insists on strength and dominance, he has built his persona on smoke and mirrors. Carville points out the absurdity of a leader who measures his worth by crowd sizes and television ratings rather than the reality of governance. Trump's presidency, in Carville's words, is less about running the country and more about starring in a never-ending vanity project where policy comes second to applause.
He does not have any idea of what's getting ready to happen to him in Virginia and to some extent too in New Jersey. They're not telling him anything. There's no value in leveling with this president and telling him the truth. All he wants is a bunch of sycophants around him to agree with everything he does and tell him everything that he wants to hear.
I have two questions about this. I could go either way. They told him and he's completely forgotten about it, and or they haven't told him because they know he's incapable of making any decisions and they just make the decision. Both scenarios are profoundly disturbing.
His polling numbers are deteriorating. And you could go look at any form you want, pick out the better polls. You can see it over a period of time. They're not going to stop deteriorating. The economic numbers, all right, who's the economic forecaster? Very few of us, but I don't think anybody sees very much good news coming in the American economy in the next couple of years. Might not, hopefully it won't be as bad as some people think, but it's not going to be very good. There's no evidence that they're getting anything done on inflation.
The Louisiana-born strategist doesn't hesitate to paint Trump as a caricature of political dysfunction. Every move Trump makes, Carville suggests, is filtered through the insecurities of a man who craves validation but refuses responsibility. It's as if Trump is constantly auditioning for the role of president in his own head, while the rest of the nation is stuck with the blooper reel. Carville weaponizes this imagery, pointing out that when history books are written, Trump will be remembered less for his accomplishments and more for the chaos he left in his wake.
Historic summit here with Ukrainian President Zelensky, European leaders all met here with you at the White House. You said you wanted to get this done bilateral as soon as possible. Have you spoken to Putin since last Monday?
Yeah, I have.
What is your conversation? Or can you share?
Every conversation I have with him is a good conversation, and then unfortunately a bomb is loaded up into Kiev or someplace, and then I get very angry about it. I think we're going to get the war done. It's tough. I thought that would be, of the 7 that I settled, I thought that would be the easiest of the group. See, you never know what's going to happen.
Okay,
You know, war.
here's the problem with this, you guys. I'm not only lying about, solving all these wars. He's incapable of deducing that Putin is manipulating him, despite CIA and massive military intelligence that has done psychological profiles that Putin is a former KGB agent. He is a dictator. He is a war criminal. He is absolutely going to know how to play you. But he says with a straight face, I don't get it. I'm talking to him on the phone and he's super nice and we get along great. And then the next thing I know, he's bombing Kyiv. And the fact that nobody around him or that he doesn't realize that we are getting played by Russia because he's so stupid and because he falls prey to superficial flattery so easily tells me that the people behind the scenes running this government, because it's not this guy.
No.
Not this guy with that hand, with those kinks, with those bloodshot eyes, talking about people leaving the garage doors open in Beverly Hills and claiming that he released all of the hostages.
Carville has a special knack for slicing into Trump's business background. He loves to remind audiences that Trump is not a self-made tycoon, but a man propped up by inherited wealth, bailed out by bankruptcies, and addicted to branding over substance. According to Carville, Trump's empire is less a monument to success and more a museum of failure, decorated with gold-plated illusions. The idea that this man built his way to the presidency, Carville argues, is the biggest con of them all. For a man who lives in the White House and commands the world's most powerful military, Trump somehow manages to cast himself as the underdog in every situation. Carville exposes the ridiculousness of a billionaire president whining about unfairness as if life had cheated him out of success. The truth, Carville says, is that Trump has never stopped campaigning as an outsider because he has never learned how to govern as an insider.